What's up, guys? Bang, bang, it's lunch money time. Well, Wall Street's trying to get rich, let's just try to get our lunch money right. As you can see, we ain't at home. Don't worry. We're in a safe place, COVID-free. Don't forget that Lunch Money is now sponsored by BlockFi. BlockFi has 3 products. You can buy and sell crypto on a crypto exchange. You can deposit crypto and earn up to 8.6% APY in their interest-bearing account. Or you can deposit crypto and take out a US dollar loan against your crypto collateral. Go get a BlockFi account. BlockFi.com/pomp. 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 What's up?
My hair's being weird again. Hi guys.
My
What's
hair's
up?
weird every day.
Okay. All right. So, utopian ideas are being tested in Europe as the pandemic gives governments a new role. I thought this was really interesting. Christine Jardine, a Scottish politician who represents Edinburgh in the UK Parliament, was not a fan of universal basic income before the pandemic hit. It was regarded in some quarters as a kind of socialist idea, but not long after the government shut schools, shops, restaurants, and pubs in March, with little warning, she started to reconsider her position. COVID has been a game changer, she said. It has meant that we've seen the suggestion of a universal basic income in a completely different light. In her view, the idea, sending cash regularly to all residents, no strings attached, now looks more pragmatic than outlandish. I kind of think it's a kind of a power grab, but what do you think?
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh, I used to think it was a socialist idea, but now that the inept government is literally being complete idiots, now all of a sudden it's not a socialist idea. This is socialism. Knock it off. You know what we should do? We should tell the government to shut up, get out of the way, inform people with information, and let them make their own decisions. We have politicians, career politicians, that are killing small businesses. In LA right now, they have decided that if you are a restaurant, you must shut down whether you have indoor or outdoor dining. So all of a sudden now, the virus is back outdoors. What is going on right now? I know politicians are idiots. These people are incompetent. They literally are career politicians. They spend their entire career as politicians. That should not be allowed. You should not be able to spend your career as a politician. You know why? Because you're dumb. Literally, you're dumb. You've never had the feedback loop of when you make bad decisions that there are consequences. And so what we're seeing right now is literally politicians are killing small businesses, and also politicians are violating people's rights. How many times do we have to determine that lockdowns and shutting down of businesses are unconstitutional? There's been multiple rulings in the United States on this already. And then on top of it now, all of a sudden it's given the excuse of like, oh, let's just give everybody money. What? How about this idea? Hey, people, wash your hands, wear a mask, socially distance, don't go near other people, make sure you avoid the virus. We need to get rid of this thing. But there's going to be a vaccine. We're going to reach herd immunity, and it's going to be okay. The world's going to keep spinning. On top of that, you are responsible for you. You need to build your business. You need to go to work. You need to do things that you need to do because the government's not coming to save you. This idea that the government's coming to save you is what got us in this mess. It ain't going to get us out. I know the planet don't like when I say this, but I'm telling you, the government is not looking out for you. Look out for yourself.
My thing is that socialism has been tried. We've tried it many a time. Many a time it has not led to great things. Maybe learn from the past. All right. Apple.
Anti-socialism. If you're a socialist, sorry. All right. Not really.
Apple has agreed to pay millions of dollars to 34 states over its controversial previous practice of deliberately slowing down older iPhones to extend their battery life. The company will pay $113 million to settle an investigation by states, including California and Arizona, over how Apple was not transparent about its iPhone battery problems that led to unexpected device shutdowns. Everybody's been speculating on this forever. Here we are.
Battery problems that just got you to upgrade. The battery problems always strike right when they come out with the new iPhone.
It's called Battery Gate.
Yeah, Battery Gate. How about Purchase Gate? They just needed you to purchase the new iPhone.
So what does this mean? So Apple's settling, but does that mean it's going to change its practices?
That's a great question. I'm sure that people are going to be paying attention a little bit more now. Do you think that they were doing it intentionally, or do you think it was a battery problem?
I think they thought this was a great growth hack. Or like, oh, I have an idea.
It's just so interesting. New iPhone gets announced. My phone starts slowing down. Damn. I wonder why.
I think one time we watched The Daily Show with Trevor Noah, and somebody made the joke that if Apple came out, at the time Apple was talking about like coming out with its own cars, and it was like, God, if Apple had its own cars, you'd have to upgrade every year with a new model, because otherwise like the electric thing that you charge with would be a different plug, and then the old cars will start slowing down. So you just
now all of a sudden they're going to sell you the car. There's going to be no plug. You're going to have to buy the plug separately. Jeez. All right, what's next?
Elizabeth Holmes.
What is she doing?
Well, so right now she's trying to block jurors from hearing about her luxurious lifestyle when she was Theranos CEO. She's trying to block federal prosecutors from introducing evidence of her wealth, spending, and luxurious lifestyle to the jury. Her trial will begin on March 9th, 2021 with jury selection. Basically, she employed personal assistants to run her luxury shopping sprees, traveled by private jet, stayed at exclusive hotels, and drove an expensive SUV. I feel like a lot of CEOs do that, but the fact that she's trying to block it, I think, is interesting. And yeah, she's facing a slew of fraud charges and prison. Her defense attorneys don't want her wealthy past to be played out in the courtroom.
Yeah, I mean, look, it is.
I mean, I get the point. Of like her wealth and her spending doesn't mean she was guilty.
It also doesn't mean that she's innocent either. But she also, I think, came from a wealthy family, so you don't know how much of it was there versus, something else. Look, this stuff is always hard because there's not a CEO in America that has some level of sophistication that doesn't have somebody do something for them. Now, are they considered an assistant? Are they running shopping spree errands, or are they going and getting coffee for the office, or are they going and bringing some to the post office? Like, what's business related, what's not? Like, there's a bunch of nuance here. We don't have all the facts.
It also depends, like, what types of funds were used. Was it her personal funds that she was using, or was it the company, or et cetera, et cetera?
And like, expensive SUV. Well, like, a Suburban was an expensive SUV, depending on who you talk to. Or also a Rolls Royce SUV would be expensive. You know what I mean? Like, what's an expensive SUV? And so I think that, like, the fact that she's trying to block it does speculate that maybe it's, not so great. At the same time, though, like, I do think there is this world of, like, you have fraud charges, and how much does that play into it? I don't know. We don't have the information, so it's hard to determine.
She faces up to 20 years in prison if convicted.
What do you think is going to happen?
I don't think she'll get 20 years, but I do think they're going to try and kind of... It's going to be harsh, in my opinion.
Yeah. There's a quote that says, "The jury should not be subjected to arguments regarding Mrs. Holmes' alleged purchase of luxury travel, fine wine, or food delivery to her home," attorneys said. If all of a sudden you get food, when I get Domino's delivered, does that make me luxurious?
It does not. It's certainly... Anthony...
Food delivery to her home. I get food delivered. I get Domino's. I'm luxurious.
Anthony be hitting people with, "Oh, that's not my lifestyle," or "That's not my scene."
Yeah, I hit somebody with that yesterday. They were talking about a fancy restaurant. I was like, that's not my scene.
So, yeah.
Next.
Charli D'Amelio, TikTok influencer. She is the first TikTok influencer to hit 100 million followers. Do you know how much? That's a lot of people. The population of Bulgaria is like 7 million. Do you know how many Bulgarias that is? A lot.
Wow.
So
she only started posting last May.
She's bigger than The Rock on TikTok.
Well, of course, she's the biggest. So in a year and a half, basically, she almost exactly 18 months, she garnered 100 million followers.
I actually really like Charli. She's very, I think, down to earth, even though recent scandals have tried to discredit that. I think she's really down to earth.
She's 16, right?
And she's 16.
Can you, if I had 100 million people paying attention to me when I was 16?
Oh my God.
Oh boy, get off the internet. It would have been wild. Imagine if me and all my brothers had 100 million, 100 million? Forget 100 people. Forget 100,000.
You would do crazy stuff for 100 people.
100 million people? We'd all be dead. Are you kidding me? We'd be dead.
All right, ready?
Yo, you want to see how fast I can go on this car? You want to see how quick I can do a wheelie on this motorcycle? Dude, let's shoot each other with paintball guns at point blank range and see who cries first. Okay.
Why are you so much more tan than me? That's so weird.
It's because I have olive skin.
I have olive skin.
From the Italian.
I have olive skin.
Sorry, I'm from the Mediterranean region.
I am from the Balkans, but close.
Yeah,
still
Balkans
olive skin.
You guys are white Arctic people.
No, we are not. We're hot-blooded. You should see me fired up. All right. Are you?
I've seen it. It's not something to celebrate.
It's that Alexander the Great blood from Macedonia. I don't know.
Alexander the Great got killed. Let's go.
No, but he took over. All right.
Not the Italians.
I
actually don't know. Go ahead.
Somebody fact check that, but I'm pretty sure the Italians. Yeah, the Roman.
Anybody who's got to name themselves Alexander the Great probably ain't so great. That's like me walking around being like, Pomp the King.
I don't think he
Imagine me like, Pomp the King. I'm Pomp the King. You're like, okay, he's not the king, obviously.
She is.
You'd be cool.
Yeah, guys, I did get a haircut if you were wondering. Okay.
Nobody cares. Come on.
He loves her on
Come on.
Okay. Okay, there's a new program called Tulsa Remote that wants to pay you $10,000 to move to Oklahoma and work remotely.
Pass.
Why?
Okay, how about this? You move to Oklahoma and take the 10 grand.
Tulsa.
I'll stay in New York City.
Tulsa. The program wants to attract talented and energetic people like us to Tulsa who care about making a difference in their local community. I think that's a great idea.
Very smart economic development program. I will not be participating.
Why?
Because then it sounds great. Oh, if you move, you get $10,000. Sweet. And then you move there and you're like, oh, but I live in Tulsa, Oklahoma. No offense to anyone in Tulsa, Oklahoma. By the way, I love Oklahoma. Oklahoma is awesome.
Have you been to Oklahoma?
I drove through one time. Oh. I loved it. It kind of reminded me a lot of like Wyoming, Montana, that whole area. But Tulsa, Oklahoma is not for me. It's for other people that want to live there.
Vibrant people, talented, energetic people. Okay.
Now, if you were talking about giving me 10 Bitcoin, we could maybe have a conversation.
Oh, really? You would move to Tulsa for 10 Bitcoin?
And then I would leave, with the Bitcoin.
No, you can't do it. All right. Patrick from the UK, I think. Hi, Pimp and Pomp. I'm Pimp, I think. Loving lunch money, a recent find for me. I'm looking to invest in Bitcoin, but worried about the vulnerability to hackers or just losing my keys. What's your thoughts on investing through an ETF? Thanks, Patrick. If the question doesn't cut it, here's a joke. I was just looking at my ceiling. Not sure if it's the best ceiling in the world, but it's definitely up there. Oh, I like you, Patrick.
Patrick, bad joke. But when it comes to Bitcoin, good question. If the way I would think about it is, what are you trying to do? If you want to own the Bitcoin for a really long time, you should get possession of it, and you should control your keys. In order to do that, there are some fairly simple products out there, Ledger, Casa, there's a bunch of others. But that's a pretty easy way to get control of your keys. There's tons of tutorials online. Just Google it or look on YouTube. If you just want financial exposure and it's something where you're like, hey, I'm going to basically trade this. I want to buy it. I'm going to sell it when it goes up or something like that. An ETF actually hasn't been approved in the United States at least, but there are other vehicles like GBTC and others that you can use to get exposure. They're fine if you just want the financial exposure and you don't actually want the Bitcoin. I think most people in the Bitcoin community would argue, though, like not your keys, not your coins, and so holding the private keys is advantageous.
Cool. Thank you, Patrick. KD, do we think this is Kevin Durant?
No.
Oh. KD asks, why does Pomp care so much about the price of Bitcoin if he doesn't plan on selling?
See, here's the key thing you need to understand about price. Price is merely a scoreboard. And when the price goes up, that means the bears were wrong.
Bears.
And that's why I care, is because that's what everyone pays attention to. As some...
the media pays attention to the price a lot.
Yeah, as some signal for progress, for value. I personally don't care, right? Literally, I just think it's hysterical that when the price goes up a bunch, I can talk shit on Twitter, basically. I mean, that's literally what I do. I wake up and I'm like, oh, wow, we broke through 18,000. Sweet, firing off tweets. But when we break 20, I will say, I have a list of people that I am going to tag, and I'm going to go one by one, and I'm going to remember, I got receipts. These clowns, they were saying all kinds of stupid stuff.
Well, when...
I'm going to bring the receipts out. It's like when I go to the store and I return it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to return all the shit they talked. I'm going to return it to them. And I got receipts. And they know who they are. They've deleted tweets and all stuff. I got receipts. You just watch. 20K. Get on the internet and get your popcorn ready.
When Bitcoin hit 18,000, he was walking around the streets of New York, like screaming and yelling and singing.
I was not doing that. I was not doing that.
All right. Vanessa, do you ever use that coffee machine in the background, or is it just for show? Starbucks wants to know.
Hey, Vanessa, don't be hitting us with rap lyrics.
So we got that as a gift.
Or is it just for show? Starbucks wants to know. Yeah, you can turn that into a song.
We've used it. I've used it. You've used it. I frothed with it. But Starbucks is kind of nice. We have this like little ritual where he goes and gets me coffee while I am still sleeping, and then he brings it to me, and then I wake up. Okay, wait. Okay.
No, it's in all seriousness, we've used it a lot actually. I don't actually like the coffee that goes through there.
Well, because the coffee is not perfect.
Yeah, so we gotta get new coffee. But also, there's the people who own the Starbucks near us. It's a franchise, and so
he
I like them, and I try to go support a little bit.
Okay.
And I get, yes, it's a Starbucks and brand and all that kind of stuff, but there's a husband wife that own the Starbucks, and so I like going and helping them.
Great. Final quick story. Can I tell them about the bath mat?
Sure. I mean, this is absurd.
I mean, so
men out there. By the way, this is a perfect reason as to if you're thinking about getting married, it may make you have second thoughts.
I did not know that, but
wait till you hear the story.
I ordered what I thought was a super absorbent bath mat, and it was marketed as such, and it was
off the internet.
And the reviews were incredible, and people were like, "This is the best bath mat I've ever set foot on." I was like, "I'm so excited." We get this massive box.
By the way, men, just in case you don't know, a bath mat, which I didn't know what that was, it's the thing that goes outside of the shower. So when you open the shower, that you can step on. That's called a bath mat.
You know what that is.
I did not know that.
So
I thought that was called the shower carpet.
So we get this shower carpet, but like the box is really heavy. I was like, I wonder how they wrapped this. And so so we opened it, but I didn't tell him what was in there. And he goes, "Why did you get such a large cutting board and coasters?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" We pull it out. It is hard as a cutting board. And it came with
a piece of wood.
But
she got a piece of wood for me when I get out of the shower naked to step on and absorb the water. How the hell is the wood going to do that? All right, guys, that's it. This is absurd. We're done. I literally got wood underneath my feet when I'm naked and toweling off.
Naked and afraid.
Put that image in your head. See ya.
Bang, bang. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Lunch Money as much as we did.
And don't forget, Lunch Money is now sponsored by BlockFi, so go check them out. There's a link in the description that you can click on. I'm an investor, a user, and a huge fan. What?
You're a bigger fan of BlockFi than you are of me?
BlockFi is my second favorite thing in the world behind Polina. They've got 3 products. They can give you a US dollar loan. You can earn up to 8.6% interest on an interest-bearing account, or you can buy and sell cryptocurrencies on their crypto exchange. I personally use the interest-bearing account. There's not very many places where you'll find up to 8.6% interest on a deposit in an interest-bearing account. Go do your own research. There's risk associated, but 8.6% is pretty compelling. So click on the link in the description. Say thanks to the folks at BlockFi. Subscribe to our channel. Like the video. Annoy Polina in the comments. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.
And be kind to your friends.